All of the pathways of heaven and earth are open to me. All of the pathways of heaven and earth are open to me.
Peace and freedom. Welcome. Nini, how is everybody? Oh, wow. So much has gone on since the last time I saw you all. And I want to, right off the top, I want to thank everybody who sent me greetings for my Heru Mesut. It was indeed Hari. It was very happy and it was peaceful. And that's all I could ask for. And I'm just grateful for another year of life. I'm glad to be here for 64 years and certainly not ashamed to admit my age. When you live well and you enjoy life, and I'm really, really enjoying life, then you just want to tell everybody that you've been here for this long. And so I'm very, very grateful and know that there are many years to come. Please share that we are on the air, and we've got a lot of really great things excuse me, that are looming. It figures as soon as I start talking, I need to grab a glass of water really quickly. And I want to thank you all for your prayers for my oral surgery, which is still healing. It was quite intense. I mean, really. And I didn't expect that it was going to be as intense as it was, but give thanks and praise. Oh, Kemsara Neferatum Duau. Brandon, how are you, dear? And Reverend Tamu, I'm sending you healing prayers. I hope that you feel better. Please share that we're on the air. Today is what is known as Palm Sunday. And for those of you who've been following me the past several years, you know that there is the tradition that comes out of Kemet that influenced what happened with the story of Palm Sunday. And so we'll get into that. Just give me one moment. Okay, here we go. I'll tell you, old habits just seem to die hard. Yeah, okay, I'm on the air. Let me turn the music down a little bit. Okay. All right, I think I'm okay. Maybe I should grab some water just to be on the safe side. Emmy, how are you? It's good to see you. Duawu. It's good to see you. Good to see you. And how has everyone been? Seems like the last time I was on, I believe it was, what was it? It was somewhere around winter solstice, and then and then we had a string of services for the winter holy days. So here we are. We've gone through spring. Spring is Capri, and Capri is the scarab, and Capri means transformation of the mind, renewal of the mind, but it also means miracles. And so this is what is very interesting about this time. We are able to really tap into that miracle energy because of Capri with spring, but because Capri is also the sign of Cancer. He's the original sign of Cancer. Then Cancer season is also Capri. So we have some months ahead of us to be able to really put in the work and to transform things and to make your life miraculous. I can tell you that I feel that mine is for sure. So I think I'm okay. All right. If I need to get some water, I'll just pause. All right. So again, I'm going to ask you to hit like or a heart for love if you're on Facebook, and then also to please subscribe if you're on YouTube, or if you're on my Facebook page, which is Facebook.com/Imakhu. All right. And again, please share. Please share. Okay. Oh, you know what? Before I go any further, let me share this truly wonderful book by Chester Higgins, Sacred Nile. This is a masterpiece. For those of you who don't know um, Chester Higgins, he is legendary in our community, and he is a gifted photographer. And so he's got not only his splendid photography, but he's got a lot of information about the Nile Valley region, the intersectionality of it all, and also of cultures that have grown out of Kemetic culture. It's absolutely just stunning, breathtaking. And so I highly recommend this to those who are studying with me and anyone who is studying Kemetic culture, traditions, literature, and it's so hard to decide what is my favorite in here. You know, I mean, I usually I take a look at a couple of pages, and then I find myself having to sit back and just digest it all because it's so rich and the information is so rich. And so I also want to say thank you to Elder Chester Higgins for gifting me with this book. It truly is. It was timely in coming around my birthday, and so I included it as a birthday gift. But to add this to my library and also to recommend this to my students and for anyone watching, it is my joy and my pleasure. Sacred Nile by Chester Higgins. Let me give you a quick consumer note because I just got a new phone. I had a phone with another well-known company that I had been with for a few years, having their Wi-Fi and cable service. And let me tell you something. When you're not like fully present, there could be a whole lot of stuff that can go by you. Y'all know the years that I've had the past several years, right? And last year, health-wise, because of this thing with needing to have the oral surgery, and also just from stress, look, I just want to tell you, there was a lot that got by me. And so last week was my week of getting rid of all of the crap. Okay. So I called the company because the fact that I realized that they were overcharging me, because when I signed up with them, my bill was originally supposed to be between $70 and $80. My bill had routinely been around $160 or more dollars. Okay. So I put my foot down last week, and then also realized, hey, cuz, how you doing? Also realized that they were charging me for a phone that was supposed to be for free. So I let them know, listen, I want this straightened out. And after it's straightened out, I'm dropping you. Okay. I'm going to another company. And so they had a supervisor call me and beg me to stay, yada, yada, yada. Found discounts for me, promised that they would take X amount off, and told me they were going to take part of the money that they charged me off. I said, no. I want you to refund me all of my money, okay? I said, you know what? I was out of it last year. I'm present now, okay? So, give me all of my money. So, after dealing with a very disappointed supervisor, I made good on my word. And I hustled up out of here and went down to the store and got myself a new phone, free in my package, okay? And also got new service. So tonight is the first night that I am on with the Wi-Fi. We'll see how this goes tonight. But all I know is that I felt a lot better about finally quitting the company, because I kept saying for the last 3 years, I was constantly saying, I'm leaving you all. I'm leaving you all. One time I left the store and walked down the street to the competitor store and said, I'm in such and such place right now. Okay. So they scrambled and did all this stuff to try to lure me back, and they lured me back. But listen, one thing that I really believe in is fighting for your rights in terms of consumerism and in all aspects of your life, because otherwise people will trounce you, and you do not want that to happen. Okay. My hands are itchy. Maybe I'll get some money. But I'll tell you. So since the oral surgery, and it's going to take another week to heal, 2 weeks to heal, because it was supposed to be a total of 3 weeks for healing. But I was prescribed something that I was highly allergic to. Didn't realize it. I mean, at first, my pharmacist caught the fact that I was prescribed something that is that has this one component that I'm very allergic to. So he called back and got something else prescribed. But don't you know, I'm so allergic to it too. You know, when you're doing your best to live a healthy lifestyle, right? And when you find yourself becoming a lot more cleansed and sensitive, things will hit you that are like in the pharmaceutical line with a vengeance. I broke out with a rash of life, okay, all over. It was horrible. And so now I have to take this stuff that every 4 to 6 hours to quell the itching, because it's still in my system. Not cool. I'll be doing a cleanse tomorrow. Anyway, all right. So, and that's one reason I got delayed too, because I was just like, oh my Lord, I need to take something. I've also been using this aloe vera gel. It came the same day. All right. A couple of days ago, I was like, I need this now. So, and this actually has been a good product. This is aloe derma pure aloe vera gel, 96% aloe vera. It's got a nice scent. It's got a nice feel, and it does cool you. And, you know, because I'm telling you, I have like railroad tracks over me every day from scratching. So, but this too shall pass. I'm thankful that I found out what was going on with my mouth, and what the true source of the pain was. So that's also another reason why you should get several opinions. If I had listened to the ENTs that I had gone to, I would have ended up with surgery for the wrong thing, according to the first one. The second one said, well, you don't want to get an operation, so I'm going to prescribe pain management. I'm like, oh, what? You want me to end up being a junkie just to tolerate this pain? I'm not going to do that. So finally, I found the right doctor to actually see what was going on. And, you know, having a 3D X-ray. And so I'm grateful. All right, cuz. You lost 20 pounds from doing a fruit fast and reset cleanse. Oh, see, that's great. That's excellent. I love the idea of doing fruit fasts. I know that I can't do that for too long, because the last time I did that, I threw myself into diabetes. And it didn't stay. My doctor told me that, don't worry, you'll get rid of this. You know, it's not, your numbers aren't bad. Just go back to your regular diet that you were eating, and drink more water, and bump up your yoga, and get rid of all the people who are stressing you out. But yeah, I realized the major change I made around that time was doing fruit for a really extended period of time. You know, a lot of times in our community, we really have to work to find the balance for what is right for all of us. So, but I want you to write me, cuz, and let me know exactly what you did in your routine. Okay. Yeah, I'm highly interested in knowing. Yeah, it's not for everybody. Yeah. Some of our constitutions are a little more delicate, which is kind of annoying, to be honest with you. But listen, you know, okay, let's get started. Let's open the way. This scratching is really annoying. Not very attractive either, I'm sure. You open open the way and call in Beset, who is the way opener, and Besu, who guides you safely through the portals. Enk, enk, enk. Yun herech beset, yun herek besu, ek yuni, yunim katni, anuk beseti besu. Parakani, parekani, yun eni beset besu nefer iwadu nefer nebu. Wep wat beset in wepti, beheni besu embesa, behen besu hauni I hetni, sebek bet yuni, duau, eng, eng, eng. Nuk wenebu per emnu, muti punut. I am the sacred plant that grows from Nu. My mother is Nut. To our water. Webni, cleanse me. Wujani, heal me. Hekni, guide me. Jedni, speak to me. Anuk sejemen, I am listening. Duau. And now just take a moment and say more words that are affirming. Anuk neferet, I am beautiful. I am goodness. I am successful. Anuk mer, I am love. Shespi mer nefer, I receive good love. Shespi shaisha, I receive respect. Keperni, I create. Keperni ches, I create myself. And now drink. Now let's pour libation for our ancestors. Now remember, just because someone passes away does not mean that they're an ancestor. People who've had a life that was exemplary, not meaning perfect, but meaning that they were an example to everybody else in the community. Those who did good works and left good things behind. Those who had a great influence on you in a positive way, and who have energy that you feel you can call into the room, into the space that will not be disruptive. Give thanks. Imchertu tegasnu duau. To the ancients, the ancestors, we follow your footsteps. Many thanks to you. Erjanuku ernuku. You give us light, we give you light. Sechnu kebu, we pour libation. Ishkanu, we remember you. Keru renu echanu, we speak your names. And now speak the names of your ancestors of light. You can call them by their last names, as I generally do, starting with your mother's side and then to your father's side. Simmons, Blackman, Pridgeon, Exum, Blackman, Whitley, Artis, Ortiz, Lloyd, Yates, McLaughlin, Myers, Murray, Salmon, Ely, Clyburn, Mayfield. Meranuchetepu, we wish you peace and blessings. Meranusha Sharme, we wish you peace and freedom. Ernu Meria, we give you much love. Duau, many thanks. Enk, enk, enk. Giving thanks. Remember never to drink your ancestral water, okay? You may pour it daily until the cup is full. You may do it once a week. Make sure that if you're going to dispose of it, that you put it outside if you can. If it's into the soil or on a tree or even into your plant if it's going to be inside. Okay. All right. The 42 principles of my eight as we reach the end of our day. And there was an eclipse today. I just happened to catch it on the news. I didn't know it was coming. So we have some truly special energy on this day. Yun kharech ma eight. Ek yuni yunum katni anuk ma eight. I will not do wrong. I have not done wrong. I have not stolen. I have not immersed myself in depression. I have not violated another being physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. I have not hoarded, disrespected, abused, or misused the land, nor deprived my loved ones and community of a rightful inheritance. I have not wasted precious food. I have not wasted precious water. I have not jealously desired to obtain that which is not mine. I have not eavesdropped or pried into matters outside the dictate of nature. I have not defiled or debased my purity. I have not abused my sexuality. I have not engaged in infidelity with another man or woman's mate. I have not engaged in sexual fantasies or sexual acts with a child. I have not caused needless terror. I have not been arrogant and egoistic. I have not acted with selfish, destructive aggression. I have not cultivated a quarrelsome nature. I have not taken a life outside my age, nor nor disrespected the life force. I have not caused the shedding of tears. I have not sown seeds of regret. I have not mistreated children and will give proper guidance and protection, and have given proper guidance and protection. I have not mistreated animals and have given proper respect. I have not been vengeful and angry except for a just cause within my eight. I have not been easily incited to action or contention. I have not upheld an untruth on or against someone else's behalf. I have not lied. I have not raised my voice unnecessarily. I have not spoken maliciously against another being. I have not exaggerated. I have not talked too much. I have not acted with sneaky manipulation. I have not been impatient or judged in haste. I have not entertained impure thoughts. I have not wished evil upon another being, but have not stood in the way of karmic law, and have invoked my eight when I've needed to. I have not performed negative energy work, but still rightfully protected and defended myself in my eight. I have not turned my ears from words of truth. I have not desecrated holy places. I have not desecrated holy traditions. I have not stolen from or neglected giving to the temple offerings. I have not robbed from the deceased. I have not betrayed my venerated ancestors. I have not blasphemed the most high nature. The 10 virtues of my eight. I have control of thoughts. I have control of actions. I have devotion of purpose. I have faith in the ability of my teacher to teach me the truth. I have faith in myself to assimilate the truth. I have faith in myself to wield the truth. I am free from resentment under the experience of persecution. I am free from resentment under the experience of wrong. I have cultivated the ability to distinguish between right and wrong. I have cultivated the ability to distinguish the real from the unreal. Going to cut right to the chase tonight and talk about the topic. And dua necheru, dua iaku, dua shepsu. I pray that you make me a vessel unto your use as I yield to your will and your way. Bring through me the words that you wish to be said. And let this lesson be one that is of healing and enlightenment and enrichment. Duau, duau, duau. Okay, so we know that today across the world today people are honoring Palm Sunday. Now, I was hoping to find a picture of a black Jesus that was coming in, and on the donkey and people with the palm fronds and all that stuff. You know how hard it is to find a black Jesus with those kind of with that kind of situation. I saw a couple, but I was just like, well, listen, just use your imagination for right now, okay? So let's look first of all at what the palm frond is and how we know it in African tradition. This is my palm frond. This is the first year that I haven't gotten one. in quite a while. But what I do is I take it and I bend it in half and loop it, and I put it on my door in order to protect it. The palm frond, which is a long, straight wand of a palm plant or palm tree. This is good luck. It is blessings. But also in other traditions, the palm fronds are used for cleansing the space. It was the same with the Kemetic tradition, okay, but with the Kemetic tradition, it's even more. Let me show you how in Haitian Vodun culture, there is Aizan. And let me just tell you, the photographer is Verdi Verna. Now she has the palm fronds that she holds, and she's surrounded by Aizan, represents purity, and she is the mother of rituals in Haitian Vodun. And I mean, she hates filth. You can't have anything filthy around her. You have to really take care of her altar. And she is very, very much like one of the Kemetic guardians who is a carrier of the palm frond. That is a shot. And she is the keeper of time. Well, there are several timekeepers in ancient Kemet, but she is preeminent because of the fact that she was the one who stretched the cord and was the land measurer, okay, for the king. And but in addition to that, because she is all about the sciences and about setting up schematics, she is also very much about time and space. She's associated with astrology and astronomy and with all the mysteries of the heavens and the earth. She also likes things to be particularly clean. I always say that Shashat is the geeky gal's best friend, okay? she indeed loves things that are pure and clean. She is considered the first teacher. There is Hech, who is eternity. Some also know him as Hu, which is infinite energy and infinite potential. Notice that he is holding two palm fronds, and at the base of the palm frond is Heket, who is another timekeeper. Now, with the palm frond placed on top of Heket, that turns it into something of a magical wand, if you will. But the symbolism is of being able to be fluid with time. Okay, so he is part of the Agdoad, or Agdod, the 8 primordial creatures or spirits, I should say, or energies that were involved in early creation of mankind, according to one myth story. There you have, beginning with Nu, the ocean of Nu, the primordial ocean above and below. Nuit or Nuit or Nut, who is the one who gives shape to that potential energy and creates from it. The water jar or the water vessel is associated with her. Then you also have Hugh and Huet or Huit. Hugh is floating time, but Huit, she defines time. So you may have a line that's here, but Huit can say, no, we're erasing that, we're moving it here, or we're going to close it here. She brings definition to time so things are not just out there floating and unformed. You have Keku and Kekut. Now, their energy is of like a window opening, and that is the potential of manifestation through light, through Keku, and Kekut knocks the window open. All right. And then you have Amen and Amenit, or Amun and Amunit. They're also known as Ger and Gerhet, and they are the last on the of the Agdoed, and they represent the finality of initiation. And with that level, that's where you have to demonstrate that you are able to hold secrets. You have high discretion. You don't flaunt your abilities. This is a mastery level. And if you do flaunt your knowledge and also your abilities, if you become an adept, then you lose it all and you have to start all over again. So that is truly the test with them. So Hu or Heku belongs to that grouping of the Necheru. Now, what does that have to do with Palm Sunday? So during Palm Sunday, we all know that there is the story of how when Jesus was coming into the city, that he was greeted by all these folks who were waving their palm fronds, okay, in excitement at his coming. And so this was done in ancient Kemet, but in a funeral procession. You know, people, they read the biblical version and they automatically assume that the palm frond represented jubilation, but not on the level that you would think. What really is happening, or was happening in ancient Kemet, when people were in a parade and waving the palm frond, that it was a funeral procession, and they were waving blessings of a good afterlife. Why? Because life on this plane was done. That's why. So it was a death march, which actually in the biblical story, it was for Yeshua, okay? It was so, but also because this represents eternity, it was the Kemites' way of acknowledging your life is over on this plane, but not in the next. And we look forward to being able to fully celebrate when you have matured into becoming an ancestor. So this symbol, which people clamor to get when they're in church, they will almost knock a priest down, okay, in order to get their palm frond. But it means a good, joyous life, but also means that you expect to spend your eternity in bliss as well. People are always saying that the Kemites were always obsessed with death. And it wasn't that they were obsessed with death. People really misunderstood that notion. It was just they had a really good understanding of the full circle of life. And, there's always this encouragement to truly live your best life, to live out your destiny, to fulfill your destiny, and to know that when you leave, you can leave with no regrets. And also to have such a processional was a way of acknowledging this was a life well lived. Because, there are some people who, if they lived wretched lives, especially if they didn't have no money, they would just get thrown in a bag and tossed in a hole with few of their meager belongings. Some didn't even get the bag. Some of them just got folded up in the fetal position and thrown in a hole. But to be remembered and for people to wish you well in your next life because you did such good works in the present life was a blessing. So that's the real origin of the palm frond. Now, when you have several of these, you can of course make a broom on the literal sense about cleaning out your life, and be able to sweep. You can use it for spiritual cleansing and sweeping. But if you do, then you don't want to hold on to it because it has touched the energy of things that you don't want to keep around. Uh, but you can use it also by making a bunch and then swishing it around your head a number of times. Uh, 10 is transcendence. Okay, if you want to overcome circumstances, then you can just and you do it first counterclockwise to get rid of the negative energy, but then you need to do it clockwise to bring the positive energy back in, because remember, nature hates a vacuum. Don't let anybody touch your palm fronds. You can even put it up on a nail or put it up in some place special, but make sure that nobody touches it. Let me just say this to you: value your time. Value the things that you do every single day. Be mindful of what you're projecting out into the world. And if, I'm not wishing anything on anybody, but if you didn't wake up tomorrow, how would you leave things? You want to make sure that every single day things are sewn up in the way they need to be, where you're living a life with no regret. Not saying that that's easy. There's so much to distract us here on this earth plane, and so much we're questioning as far as what's right to do, what is not right to do, and what fits our lives. The greatest thing that you can do is align yourself with your destiny. What does that mean? To know that you are on task, to know that you are doing the right thing, to know that you are going to receive accolades because of the outstanding life that you have lived. Now, you don't do things just so people will say nice things about you. You should do these things from a pure heart, you know, as opposed to just trying to collect brownie points, because ultimately in this circle of life, um, and the term is pekarit puank. Life is the circle. In the circle of life, we realize that when we are living up to the best of our ability, and also when we are mindful in ways of sharing and caring for others and doing for others, that will end up contributing to what's beneficial to the planet and to mankind. I know the human race a lot of times, quite frankly, stinks. Okay. That's just the truth. But there are so many wonderfully tremendous uh, things that humans do and can do, and to help quell the suffering that is happening here. All we need to do is be mindful of one another and try to influence other people who do not carry that mindset, because once you open yourself up to being aware of where your energies are needed, where you can help, but also when you can ask for help when you need it, then that brings ma'at. It brings balance to the planet. You know, in the story of Kenemu or Kanum and or Khanum, the king has neglected his duties in leading everyone in giving tithes, a tenth of what they have. And so you find out that Khanum is disappointed because the fact that he has ignored the ritual of giving. And so what did he do? He dried up the waters from the Hapi. That made the king pay attention and Joseph, King Joseph. And so when he went to visit the temple of Kenemu, he brought a huge hetep tablet or tray of offerings for him. And Kenemu had to talk to him, like, listen, now you're up here because you need water. But you must remember to have everyone give. And it wasn't for the sake of easing his ego. It was what the right thing to do, because in community sharing, that meant that everyone would eat. It wasn't just a matter of bringing out the best fruit, vegetables, oxen, and so forth, and then just leaving them to just rot. No, they first laid them down, and gave them it so that the Necharu would be able to influence the essence of it or enjoy the essence of it, and then would partake in the food, feeling that they had done the right thing and that they were being blessed by ingesting the food that was blessed by the Necharu. But again, it also was a way of feeding the community on a routine basis so that no one was in need. You follow? So on this Sunday, as you are focused on living your best life, also remember that the balance of giving is most important. All right? And with that, we will go to our Kesu Huit Kerest, our Eucharist. With that, we have our red beverage and our bread. Next week, when we have our Sunday service on the day that it is considered Easter around the world, we call it Heru Nechest, which is Resurrection Day, and celebrating the resurrection of Wasir. There's going to be a lot more to it in the way that from the way that we usually celebrate it, and also there is going to be a difference in the way that we do our Huit Kerest. All right. So please, I'm telling you now, just make sure that you're ready. And I'll be doing little tutorials like I've done in the past about how to prepare for Resurrection Week in the Kemetic tradition. Okay? Kesu Huit Kerest. The sacred supper of Huit Kerest, known today as Eucharist, was created in ancient Kemet. The priests and priestesses of Osset honored the resurrection of King Wasir and the resurrection of life. We all face personal levels of resurrection daily. As we learn the lessons of this life, we strive to grow, leave behind the old and unnecessary habits and behaviors, and move forward into higher consciousness. The blood that flows through our veins is of our ancestors. Huit represents the DNA, the ancestral blood that reaches back into the beginning of time. In African culture, we refer to the river of ancestors. The blood, or senef, of our ancestors flows through each of us, as our blood will flow through future generations. It is an endless stream. As we can call on the light and wisdom of our high ancestors, or Imakhu, our blood becomes purified. As such, we are mindful of giving respect, Shaisha, to senef, the blood. When we become spiritually awakened, we take our places within the awakened body of consciousness, Christ consciousness, Kerest consciousness. Kerest means the mummified remains or body wrapped in swaddling strips, death to the old. Yet spirit lives on. It has victory over death. We, in our spiritual growth, have victory over death and in life as we put emphasis on spirit and are not stuck in matters of the flesh and mundane. The bread, te, symbolizes the body, or kerest. Please hold up your bread. Repeat after me. Necharu, bless this bread of life. Semek necharu, mishet pen. I am the bread of life. Anuk mishet ank. I am the body of awakened consciousness. Anuk Kerest. My body is sacred. Kati Jaser. My spirit is of nature. Kani en nature. Thank you, nature. Dwa nature. Dwa. Unem. Eat. Please hold up your cup and repeat after me. Necheru, bless this blood of life. Semek necheru, senef ankpen. My blood flows from the river of ancestors. Senefi sef ni im Imakhu. Webi, purify me. Thank you, Nechir. Dwa Nechir. Baba, drink. And hold up your cup. This cup is also you. It is a sacred chalice. You, like the cup, are a sacred vessel. Be mindful of what you fill your life with. Your life is sacred. Repeat after me. I am a sacred vessel. Anuk Imakhu. My life is sacred. Anki Jaser. Amen. Amen. Imenit. That concludes our ceremony. I would like to give a special thanks right now to Dr. Akil Kafani, who had me as one of his guest speakers yesterday at the Africana conference held at Essex County College. This was the 6th year, and I was there last year. So to be here again, yesterday, which also has a funny story connected to it. I was getting ready to leave, right? I go to my foyer and I see it's flooded, okay? And then I'm like, oh my goodness, because we had a horrible rainstorm, right? Then I opened the door and it just was this small tidal wave just came in. So I couldn't leave, and I was torn. I was like, that'll be when I come back. I was like, you can't leave, okay? So I had to do my portion live via Zoom. In the meantime, I contacted my landlord and the property managers to let them know I'm supposed to be somewhere right now and I'm dealing with a gusher in my house, okay? So give thanks and praise. It finally came to an end, but that was stuff happens and you have to rise to the occasion. Give thanks and praise. I was able to do my portion on Zoom, but yesterday was a really wonderful and rich day. And again, I'd like to also thank Chester Higgins. Please get his book, Sacred Nile. For those of you who are studying with me, this is required reading. And even for those of you who follow me, do yourself a favor and order this book, okay? If you just Google it, you'll find it and you'll see the places where you can purchase it. And what about my book, you say? Well, let me tell you something. I got delayed again because of this whole thing with my mouth, and then thrown off extra again because of this allergic reaction that has really just knocked me out. But let me just tell you something. I am so grateful beyond belief that I don't have the pain that I had before. I have the healing pain, but I don't have that piercing pain because it was pressing this bone that was pressing. Well, the top part of my tooth got chipped off at the root, up near my nasal cavity, and so that's what was causing me pain. And it wasn't a cyst, although there was some cyst stuff going on around it because of the fact that it was, not supposed to be fractured. But I don't have the pain that I had before. And I realized the other day, I was talking somebody's head off, talking my head off and talking somebody's ear off, because I was able to have a long, extended conversation for the first time in a long, long time without having to pause because I was in so much pain. So, with that, I'm telling you, I'm back, and we can have more regular programming. And when the book is finally out, because I planned to have this big party and this big launch, but I still in the healing process. Listen, I spent a lot of the days knocked out. And so anyway, again, thank you all for your birthday wishes. The word for birthday is Heru Mesut. Heru Mesut. To say happy birthday in the Kemetic language, you say Heru Mesut Hari. Heru Mesut Hari. So any chance for questions, you got to get them to me now, or you can email them to me, okay? And I've decided to put this book back out on the market too. I withdrew my book. This is the one that got run over by a car. But Kesu Duau Meni. But the look is a little different on the inside. There are a lot of images that have been replaced and some things that have been updated. You'll find lots of goodies there. Every Sunday live? If so, what is the time? Well, the goal is to get back to doing Sunday morning services. That's the goal. I would have done so today, but I had a lot of prep to do and a lot of web updates and all kinds of things. But I'm very glad that at least I was able to get on today because there's just so much information that I have to share, and it brings me joy to know that I'm bringing information that is helpful to you, and that oh yes, and that my motivational series, Motivation, yes, this is under SHENU Living. SHENU Living. It is the lifestyle of living in with Kemetic culture. Not just like doing it, not just being rote about it, but also just really learning how to incorporate it into your life and being full circle. It's not about having to dress a certain way. Listen, I'm the kind of person who, as a clothing designer, likes to have something of an extravagant wardrobe. Creative. It's not about having to do like Erica. Yes. What's her name from Living Single? Oh my goodness, I can't believe I don't remember her name right now. But she was talking about people who do African cosplay. So it's not about that. It is about being able to live a happy, healthy life in a full circle way, with joy, and being able to really have a strong sense of who's in your circle, what people are bringing to your life, and also to use cognitive thought. And let us also remember that the reading for the year, the oracle for the year, was focused on Anjeti and also the Jabiru bird. So you can go back and find the lessons about that. But what you can do, for those of you who already have Kesu Dwa Umeni, is use the daily 23rd Psalm in the Kemetic language, which is on page 104. Adding that to your morning prayers, you'll find it to be very enriching, very grounding, and very assuring, in the same way that in general the 23rd Psalm has been for so many people. And if you didn't know, there are many chapters, books in the Bible that have been influenced by Kemetic literature, which predated the Bible thousands of years before. So if you want to learn more about that, if you also want to join me in classes where I would teach you either privately or either in a new group class, yes, I'm going to take the plunge and offer that again. So please reach out to me and send me a message on my website and let me know. Okay. In the meantime, a closing prayer. Akanacher imdu wed sen yet mebu desert da shemek duet sen. May nature be between you and harm in all of the infertile or absent or empty places where you must walk. I'm Reverend Dr. Queen Mother Imakhu. It is my pleasure to be with you again. And we say Mkuten which is to pull in divine light that is expressed out as love. And Teni, which means to be accountable, and Heri, which means to be at peace. Maria.
The pathways of heaven and earth are power to me.
Claim that power.
All of the pathways of heaven and earth are open to me. All of the pathways of heaven and earth are open to me. All of the pathways of heaven and earth are open to